Welcome back to Vintage Family Recipes with Belle. I am going to continue on the theme of making Christmas items for a Christmas basket. So tonight I'm going to show you how to make old-fashioned caked muffins. These are my grandmother's recipe. The only difference is she would fry hers in oil. I'm not going to do that. I don't like frying in oil. It always makes me just a little bit nervous. So I modified the recipe and I'm going to bake them in the oven. They are healthier, not much, a little bit, but I don't have to worry about splattering oil all over myself or all over my kitchen by doing this. I've measured my dry ingredients. I have 2 cups of flour, 3/4 of a cup of sugar. I have 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I have a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And as always, the recipe will be in the description. So I just mixed that together really quickly. Now in a separate bowl, I'm going to put 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to use canola oil. I have never used olive oil. I'm sure that you could. And then I'm going to add my teaspoon of vanilla. And now I'm going to use 3/4 cup of buttermilk. I ran out of buttermilk. I'm like this short of the 3/4 cup. So instead of running to the store to buy more buttermilk, I'm just going to add the heavy cream milk, and that should be fine because it's just a little bit being added. Now I'm just going to mix my wet ingredients in with my dry. If you wanted, you could add blueberries into this. You could add apples in. I'm not going to do either of those tonight. I am just going to do them as traditional flavored cake donuts. Spray my pan. You notice the dough is starting to scoot around, and so I'm letting it do that on its own, and then I'll help it a little bit if I have to, but I don't want to overfill the donut pan. I'm just going to kind of scoot it around so it goes all the way around, because these do puff up nicely. So you don't want to overfill. I've done it before. I've overfilled them before, and they don't look too great when you overfill them. They don't really look like donuts anymore. That's 2. And then if I have extra after I fill the second donut pan, then I can come back and add a little bit more into each crevice if I would like to. We'll see what it looks like. Let's get these in the oven. Oh, before I do that, I am going to show you when they come out of the oven very quickly, what will happen is I'll roll them in the sugar cinnamon topping and then let them sit on the rack and get cool while the cinnamon and the sugar soaks in as soon as they come out of the oven. I used a 1/2 cup of sugar and a teaspoon of cinnamon and a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Okay, let's get these in the oven. They are finished. See, some are a little bit bigger than they should be, but that's okay. These are very hot. this out of the way and roll them in the sugar. Oh, I know what I forgot to do to roll them in the sugar so the sugar sticks. That was brilliant on my part. Melted butter. As soon as I dipped, I was like, it's not sticking. Oh yeah, butter. That's so helpful. Yeah, the dipping in hot butter was not in the recipe. I did that myself because I didn't cook in grease. And if you cook them in grease, you don't need the butter. The grease from the donut, when you roll it in, it makes it stick. I don't have grease, so I have to use butter to make it stick. And my butter's popping. Twist this around so that I don't clumps of butter. There we go. This part is a great part to let your kids help you with if you have littles. I would make the donuts ahead of time. Maybe let them help you stir and that kind of stuff, but I would definitely do the pouring of the mixture into the donut pans myself. And then I would let them dip them in the sugar and the butter, and I'd let them help mix. I will not be able to taste test these because I used regular flour, not gluten-free. But I remember eating these when I was little. I loved when my grandmother would make donuts, especially in the summertime when I would go visit her and I would get to spend a couple of weeks with her in the summer and stay overnight on the farm. And I just loved her donuts. One left. Oh, I'm gonna have just enough. Barely, but I got it. Okay. There we go. Y'all sound like Homer Simpson.
I feel like Homer Simpson.
These are so good. I love these.
My youngest will once again be upset with me that I made these while he's not here.
I guess I know what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow.
There you go. Do you taste the nutmeg too, or just the cinnamon? Or is it just such a smooth mix it is all together?
I don't know. It's in there. It's something. It's good. That's all I care about.
These are a family favorite. Not just my family, not just my immediate family, but the extended family as well. Join us next time on Vintage Family Recipes with Belle. I'm not going to let you have any more of my snacks if you're going to bunny ears me all the time.
You can cut that as after your outro.